Now we are getting to the main box. Just want to note that actually all of the liquid cooling components we have purchased, everything has been purchased from Performance PC, including the motherboards and all the parts inside of here. So let's get into it. Here's a minor accessory. It's a switch bay that I'm going to be using on my particular build. We'll see how this fits up and works after. Alright, let's get into this. First up, this is pretty heavy, and this is a pretty big box. You're probably wondering what's in this box, so let's kill with the suspense and show you guys. It's a PC power and cooling turbo cool 1200 watt power supply. Let's open this up and take a look at this monster of a power supply. We were actually thinking about going with the PC power and cooling 910 watt power supply, but we didn't have to worry about power issues later on in the future, machine upgrades and that kind of stuff, so we just said let's just go all out and get the 1200 watts. So this will have enough power to cool graphics card, to power the graphics card, motherboard, overclocks, that kind of stuff. So with this PC power and cooling, we got the manual. With all high-end PC power and cooling power supplies, you actually get a sheet certified tested report. So this power supply has been thoroughly tested by those guys at PC power and cooling, which is now actually owned by OZZ. Here is the monster of a power supply. This power supply is pretty heavy, so let me just get this box out of the way. I'm actually surprised at the weight of this power supply. It's pretty heavy. Here we go. Exhaust fan. That's the front of the power supply there. Comes with a ton of cables, as you can see. You have enough connectors here to do whatever you want. Moving along. Here we have yet another PC power and cooling 1200 watt power supply. This will be for the second machine we are building. Here we have a heat gun. This is going to be used for sleeve kit. Now, the previous site fans we showed you all before is optimized for radiators, but for actual airflow throughout the case, we actually went with the thermal take fans. There's a 120 by 120 by 25 mm fan. This has a pretty high airflow of 95 CFMs. You can check these out at Performance PC. We have a ton of those, something like 12. Another sleeve kit. And now it's time for the main part in this entire box. Our motherboard, the EVGA X58 3-way SLI classified motherboard. Now let's open this up and take a look. This is an extended power motherboard, so you have to make sure it can fit into your case, which you will be seeing shortly what case we went with. Alright. First up, I've never seen this in a motherboard box before. They have a complete layout of the motherboard where all the components are, how to connect everything. It's titled Visual Guide, so it looks pretty interesting. Here we have connectors. These are the SLI bridges, in case you're going with an NVIDIA graphics card. ATI or AMD graphics card comes with their crossfire fittings in the graphics card box. Here is the back plate for the motherboard. And let's have a look at the actual motherboard now. Before we get to the actual board, we have the manual for the motherboard here and a USB 2 bracket. Alright, let's get to the motherboard. This board is gorgeous. Just take a look at that board. One of the best boards. This has got to be the best board I've ever purchased. So if you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 PCI Express slots. They still choose to include one regular PCI slot. I guess these are getting fewer and fewer since most cards are coming PCI Express. There's a serial ATA header there. There's another PCI Express slot on top there. That should be an X1. This will be X16. So let's take a go around the board. I see there's a reset and a power switch here, so you can actually power and reset the machine for testing. There's a CMOS reset switch there. We have the jumpers and stuff here for the machine. Here we have the South Bridge cooler, also the North Bridge cooler. This is a pretty huge cooler. You can also mount an optional fan, I think it's 40 millimeters here, to increase the cooling of this particular North Bridge. But we are actually going to be removing this since we are going with a complete liquid cooled build. Once we get all of these heat sinks off, we'll give you another shot of the board with all the liquid cool components installed. There's the socket, i7 socket. This particular motherboard takes two 8-pin powers. There's one, the other one is taped up at the moment. The second 8-pin is only really required for insane overclocks, which we are hoping to do for you guys, so we may just power those two. Here we have 6 RAM slots, DDR3 memory this board is taking. Let's give you guys a shot. There's 1, 2, 8 serial ATA at the side. So I'm guessing that's a total of 9. This one here will be used for external serial ATA, and these on the side to power hard drives, which you will see in a moment. And I guess that's it for the board. Let's give you a shot at the back. There's 2 and 2, 4 USB. There's 2 more here and 2 more here, so that's 8 USB in total. Dual gigabit, you could use LAN teaming technology to get some improvement out of that. A keyboard port there, which if you're building a high machine like this, I don't think you'll ever be using this port here. There's an optical out, but we have buy an independent sound card, so we won't be using that. Nor will we be using these audio inputs here. And I guess that's it for this particular board. Let's get on to the other part.